Hello and welcome. My name is Nicholas and this is Literally Graphic. And today we're doing a wrap-up of the rest of the books in the New 52 Nightwing series. If you haven't checked out my initial rebroadcast of my Volume 1 review, maybe go do that. But otherwise, starting where we left off with Volume 2, this is a story overly preoccupied with nature versus nurture. Was Dick Grayson created via eugenics, or did his choices and life events create the protagonist we have today? Somehow I don't really buy either of these scenarios. There was also the way that the early 20th century was presented that felt extremely naive and plot convenient. Well, at least the part where William Cobb, at least 10 years of age, working class, child of a single mother, comments that he's too young to be left alone, but they didn't have anyone to pay to watch him. I'm pretty sure child labor was still a thing at this point. Besides this hiccup and the distaste I hold for the themes presented, I must admit that this volume, nay series, although it really does go downhill, is written a million times better than Batgirl of Burnside. There's a bad guy, there's foreshadowing, there's continuity, even as there are a few dastardly webs woven. Is it really that hard, DC? Art-wise, things continue to be a bit of a mixed bag, only leaning a bit more towards not so great. The poses we see Grayson in, action or not action related, were generally pretty awkward looking. The framing and layouts did not disappoint, but I'm not sure this person can draw people at all. Gender and sexuality got hit the hardest though, because men do absolutely everything in this comic except serve as sex objects. Objects to have babies, objects to trip up our protagonist. Grayson and his ancestors continue to be inundated by an inordinate number of redheads. It also doesn't help that the cop that has it in for Nightwing turns out to be gay, and angry because he thinks Nightwing killed his boyfriend. The one upside is that at least with so few women, there's not any male gaze going on. Until Volume 3, when the female trapeze artist turns up dead, and we get an eyeful of her bust. As we continue on through this particular series, Grayson collects women who want to f*** him like gnats attracted to rotting fruit. If he was a woman, we might be tempted to call him a Mary Sue. But he's not, so I guess that would be preposterous. He even has a non-redhead who wants to fuck him. But that's only because she's also the daughter of the guy who killed his parents, now his financial advisor. Strangely, her character's design is more tied to how sexual she is trying to be at any given point than on anything resembling consistency. As far as plot goes, all the bad things continue to happen to Grayson. Seriously, stay away from this guy for your own health. Certainly, do not work for his circus. In pursuit of the man who killed his parents, who was supposed to be dead but may not be dead, Grayson moves from fictional Chicago to real Chicago, and suddenly there are black people. More specifically, corrupt white-collar black people mixed in with a whole bunch more white people. Grayson sublets from a hot blonde girl programmer who barely looks human because the drawing is so disjointed. In Volume 5, Grayson and Babs wax nostalgic about their brief foray into a relationship over top of a story where a woman's ex kills everyone around her, on top of faking both of their deaths, before Grayson moves back to real Chicago with a super clean obsessed roommate who quickly becomes a shrew. There's drugs, and Alice in Wonderland references to clobber you over the head, and the person who is stealing the drugs is female and white presenting, and they apparently wish they could quit, which means we can sympathize, apparently, until she backstabs him because obviously women are the worst. Then a young girl who knows Grayson's secret witnesses both her parents be killed in a mugging gone wrong, because no one can think of anything close to a fresh plot point anymore. The final short story that closes out this rapidly degenerating series includes a montage of white female doctor wanting to save one starving refugee child in the Democratic Republic of Congo from a band of villains bent on human depopulation. While I'm glad that we are representing such trash as the bad guys, this section is rife with colonialist paper doll-like ideas about reality. Unsurprisingly, this awesome lady was inspired by the sad puppy dog eyes of one Bruce Wayne after the death of his parents. Or maybe it's Grayson. It doesn't actually say, and they all look very much the same. And every time the art changes, everyone looks different anyway. This, of course, is followed up by a super manly, muscular, bloody fight between Batman and Grayson. Grayson's epic death plot point apparently happens somewhere else, I guess. We close with an airship, and then sniper. Fun. Why did I read this? Well, I've read most of the series a couple of times actually, but never gotten around to putting my thoughts to paper in a semi-coherent way. So I just really felt the need to do that finally. So hopefully I never have to check these books out of the library ever again. Bye y'all, keep reading and resist white supremacy. And as always, I would like to acknowledge that for the most part, all of my videos are filmed and produced on the traditional territory of the Mississaugas of the Credit, an Anishinaabe people, the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, and the Huron-Wendat Nation, land covered by the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Belt Covenant.